Sorry for that interruption, everybody. I don't have Strabo in here. Let's add Strabo before we forget. Strabo. Strabo. Leo Strabo. Oh, who has time to read Strabo anymore? We do! We do! Oh, Strabo is long. I'll keep the footnotes. I should probably get rid of all the footnotes. Wow, this is like literally half footnotes. I guess I could show this. Oh, I didn't delete it. Where is Herodotus? I do not have Herodotus in here. Oh, the glorious footnotes, I say goodbye to you. Oh. Ooh, this even has the Greek in the footnotes. Oh, they're so beautiful. I don't care, I'm gonna get rid of them. I'm done with you. Okay, I'll leave those. That had Greek. I want to put in the Greek. The nice index. I gotta get rid of the footnotes. I will get rid of them. Alright, I'm getting rid of the other ones too. You're not escaping my scalpel. Oh, my beautiful footnotes, forgive me, forgive me. No, no. My God. 2,500 footnotes. Almost 3,000. All right. Let's indulge in Strabo. feast on our kill. Herodotus is not even in here. Okay, I gotta go look through, we'll do that after we do Strabo. I'll go look through the other texts. Okay, Strabo's queued up. And the answer was, he heard tale of Diogenes and followed his sons in their tutelage. Oh, I thought I got rid of those. The air here is better than in those islands. Ooh, I was close. What is this grand place, Strabo? The Albanians pursue rather a shepherd life and resemble more the nomadic tribes, except that they are not savages, and hence they are little disposed to war. They inhabit the country between the Iberians and the Caspian Sea, approaching close to the sea on the east and the west border upon the Iberians. Of the remaining sides, the northern is protected by the Caucasian mountains, for these overhang the plains and are called, particularly those near the sea, Ceraunian Mountains. The southern side is formed by Armenia, which extends along it. A larger portion of it consists of plains, and a large portion also of mountains, as Kybsini, where the Armenians approach close to the Iberians and the Albanians. The Cyrus, which flows through Albania, and the other rivers which swell the stream of the Cyrus, improve the qualities of the land, but remove the sea to a distance. For the mud, accumulating in great quantity, fills up the channel in such a manner that the small adjacent islands are annexed to the continent, irregular marshes are formed and difficult to be avoided. The reverberation also of the tide increases the irregular formation of the marshes. Perhaps such a race of people have no need of the sea, for they do not make a proper use even of the land, which produces every kind of fruit, even the most delicate, and every kind of plant and evergreen. It is not cultivated with the least care, but all that is excellent grows without sowing, without plowing, according to the accounts of persons who have accompanied armies there, and describe the inhabitants as leading a cyclopean mode of life. In many places the ground, which has been sowed once, produces 2 or 3 crops, the first of which is even 50-fold, and that without a fallow, nor is the ground turned with an iron instrument, but with a plough made entirely of wood. The whole plain is better watered than Babylon or Egypt by rivers and streams, so that it always presents the appearance of herbage, and it affords excellent pasture. The air here is better than in those countries. The vines remain always without digging round them, and are pruned every 5 years. The young trees bear fruit even the 2nd year, but the full-grown yield so much that a large quantity of it is left on the branches. The cattle, both tame and wild, thrive well in this country. Their kings differ from one another. At present, one king governs all the tribes. Formerly, each tribe was governed by a king who spoke the peculiar language of each. They speak 26 languages from the want of mutual intercourse and communication with one another. The tarantulas cause death in some instances by laughter, and in others by grief and a longing to return home. The gods they worship are the sun, Jupiter, and the moon, but the moon above the rest. She has a temple near Iberia. The priest is a person who, next to the king, receives the highest honors. He has the government of the sacred land, which is extensive and populous, and authority over the sacred attendants, many of whom are divinely inspired, and prophecy. Whoever of these persons, being violently possessed, wanders alone in the woods, is seized by the priest, who, having bound him with sacred fetters, maintains him sumptuously during that year. Afterwards he is brought forth at the sacrifice performed in honor of the goddess, and is anointed with fragrant ointment and sacrificed together with other victims. The sacrifice is performed in the following manner. A person having in his hand a sacred lance, with which it is accustomed to sacrifice human victims, advances out of the crowd and pierces the heart through the side, which he does from experience in this office. When the man has fallen, certain prognostications are indicated by the manner of the fall, and these are publicly declared. The body is carried away to a certain spot, and then they all trample upon it, performing this action as a mode of purification of themselves. The Albanians pay the greatest respect to old age, which is not confined to their parents, but is extended to old persons in general. It is regarded as impious to show any concern for the dead or to mention their names. Their money is buried with them, hence they live in poverty, having no patrimony. Wow, that is strange. What do we know of Strabo, I ask? This is Alexander visiting the Amazons. Beautiful. Travel throughout the Mediterranean and Near East, especially for scholarly purposes, was popular during this era, right at the turn of the the original millennium. We have nothing of Strabo's historical sketches. Studied under Aristodemus, who loved Homer. Map of the world according to Strabo. Libya, Brittany, Asia, India. Wow. In India, Strabo described small flying reptiles that were 3 feet long with a snake-like body and bat-like wings. Hey. Yeah. Sorry, I got lost in this biography of Strabo. Thanks for reining me back into the grind here. Here we go. I only have Strabo in here at the moment. Yeah, it is interesting. But I'll show you the game and we'll study Strabo. So Homer accurately describes many distant blank, and not only Greece and the neighboring places, as Eratosthenes asserts. So I'm gonna say islands. What do you think Homer accurately described? Yeah, you'll get a clue. Just countries. Okay, I was kind of right. Okay, actually, let me, rather than dwell on Strabo, since he's rather an acquired taste, let's say, I'll throw the entire 286 book corpus at you, and then we'll get some beauty amidst our geography. Okay, here we go. Prince, don't ask of me blank where they are this year or no. I have only this last refrain. Oh, where is last year's snow? So, what's the blank? Neskid Thunder. Prince, don't ask of me. I think it might rhyme with refrain. Yeah, but you know, just take it one sentence at a time. It's always one sentence at a time. Prince, don't ask of me. I want to say complain. That's the only thing that comes to mind, but it's not. Doesn't really fit. Don't ask of me. Refrain. Again, of course. Again. Prince, don't ask of me again. Where they are this year or no, I have only this last refrain. Oh, where is last year's snow? Okay, now I'll show you how the real game works. This is where it gets very interesting. So now what we do is we ask a question about the context from wherever this came from, which we don't know where it came from yet, but we're going to find that out as soon as we ask the question. So, don't ask of me again where they are this year or no. So I'll say, who did the prince ask about? Okay. So that's the question I'll ask. And this came from a Villon poem. The 14th century French poet Francois Villon. And what I will now turn to is the full text where that random sentence came from, which is here. And what I'll do is I'm going to read the poem Le Testament, Ballade des Dames du Temps Jadis. And while we're reading the poem, we want to keep in mind the question, what did the prince ask about? And try and answer it after the poem is read. Okay? So, tell me where, or in what country, is Flora, the lovely Roman, Archipiades or Thais, who was her nearest cousin, Echo answering at clap of hand over the river and the meadow, whose beauty was more than human? Oh, where is the last year's snow? Where is that wise girl Eloise, for whom was gelded, to his great shame, Peter Abelard at Saint Denis, for love of her enduring pain? And where now is that queen again, who commanded them to throw Beridan in a sack in the Seine? Oh, where is the last year's snow? Queen Blanche of the siren's voice, white as a swan, and Alice say, Bertha Bigfoot and Beatrice, Arenberg, ruler of Maine, or Joan of Arc of Lorraine, the English burned at Rouen? Oh, where are they, virgin, you who reign? Oh, where is the last year's snow? Prince, don't ask of me again. This was the sentence we got. Prince, don't ask of me again where they are this year or no. I have only this refrain. Oh, where is the last year's snow? Okay, so that was our blank. And the question we're trying to answer is, who did the prince ask about? This is my game for the Twitch community. This is a project I've been working on for a number of years. It has many fruits, I have found. So I'm just gonna say so the prince was actually asking about all of those people. So I'm actually going to list a few of them, the ones I remember. So we have Joan of Arc, Peter Abelard, and Eloise. Okay. And that will do for this for now. The prince asked about Peter Abelard, Joan of Arc, and Eloise. Done. Then we go on to the next sentence. Phidias, the famous sculptor of blank. Diana? Do you know what Phidias sculpted? Neskid? I think Phidias was one of the great sculptors of the ancient world. Oh, of course, it wasn't a person. It was antiquity. What about him? That's not even a complete sentence. Oh, this is Marcus Aurelius. Maybe we shouldn't dismiss it. So I'll ask, like, what are you listing, Emperor? Oh, Emperor, my friend. God, I'm reading such a great book on Marcus Aurelius. I haven't been reading it for a few weeks, but it's spectacular. What are you up to this evening, my friend? Listen on. Oh, this is actually from the glossary. The glossary of the text I have on Marcus Aurelius, which isn't so interesting, so I'm just gonna go on. Oh, here's a a good challenge. A non-thing does not blank a non-thing, nor does a thing blank a non-thing. I have my guess. You got one? I'm pretty sure I know where this comes from. It comes from a very profound Buddhist epistemological text. I'm going to guess cause. Become. I got it wrong. Okay, now how do I pose a question here? A non-thing does not become a non-thing, nor does a thing become a non-thing. Why can't a thing become a non-thing? This one I don't think scanned. Right on. Let's see. Oh, this one's gonna be hard to find. Non-thing does not become a non-thing. This is one of the most amazing works I've ever encountered. It is very challenging, and by challenging I mean it will undermine your confidence in the basis of reality in a very incisive way. Which I guess is a good thing. A non-thing does not become. There it is. So of the 400 verses, this is verse 365. A thing does not become a thing, nor does a non-thing become a thing. A non-thing does not become a non-thing, nor does a thing become a non-thing. i.e., there is no inherent origination, duration, and production, because origination and cessation are not self-caused, nor caused by other. Very similar to the previous verse, here the verb to produce of the last verse is replaced with the verb to become. It means a thing doesn't originate by itself, not ceased by itself. When it changes, it is not the same nor different. A thing does not exist and change. About change. Something that already exists is not produced again, nor do its causes still exist when it has been produced. The relationship between cause and effect and the function of production are then examined to establish their lack of inherent existence, which is the main point of this work, or a lot of it. But let's see, does it answer my question, though? That's the real question. Why can't a thing become a non-thing? That would be one answer, because a thing has no... Well, we were just given an answer. Basically... Well, what did I say? Why can't a thing become a non-thing? Yeah. Basically because there'd be something left over. And that would be one answer. So it could never become an actual total non-thing. But let's see what it says. Moreover, should one consider that production and disintegration pertain to that which has the nature of a functional thing or a non-functional thing? Both are inappropriate. Something already produced does not again become a thing being produced, since it is senseless for it to be produced again. Okay, I don't want to drag you all through this arcane ontology, which has very subtle, important meaning, but I have yet to encounter anyone who takes a enduring, persistent interest in. So I'll just simply answer that. Why can't a thing become a non-thing? Because the basis for the thing will still remain after transformation. And then I'll go on to the next one. So glad you could join us, James. Blank. He gave her no rest till she agreed. Oh, this is a good one. So, what do you think fits in there, James? I'm gonna say subsequently. However, he gave her no rest till she agreed. What did he insist she agree upon? And so you'll notice here I'm asking the question about a context. I don't know what it is. I have absolutely no idea where this is coming from. So now we're going to find out where the sentence came from and then answer the question. What did he insist that she agree? Oh, yay! I was wondering whether this work had disappeared. This is Grimm's Fairy Tales. We're really in for a treat here. This will be very interesting. I haven't read Grimm's Fairy Tales, but they're so nice. However, he gave her. Okay, there it is. Okay, so I'll read this paragraph here, and we're looking for why did he insist that she agree, which is this this sentence right here. They lived together very happily, and the queen had a son. And thus 8 years had passed over their heads when the king thought of his father, and he began to long to see him once again. But the queen was against his going and said, I know well that misfortunes will come upon us if you go. However, he gave her no rest till she agreed. So the question was, what did he insist that she agree? And the answer is, the king insisted the queen agree to go see the king's father. Done. I'm not even gonna suffer the interest of finding out where that came from, even though I'm very interested, but I'm so happy that I got it right so easily. Do 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 do. To the observer and copier of styles, a style presents itself as a synopsis stabilized by habit. While he is aware that this is the side effect of a spontaneous, merely code-oriented practice that has abandoned itself to the self-programming of the artwork. Darn, wish I would have guessed that one, but I accidentally hit enter. Alas. That Mr. Rymer's talents for dramatic poetry were inferior to those of the persons whose writings he has with so much rigor attacked will be apparent to everyone who will take the trouble of blank one play which he has given to the world, entitled Edgar, a Tragedy. Ooh, might have to dig up Edgar. I have a lot of confidence in this one. Other people are open to dive in here for an easy, tiny point. Reading, I say. Perusing, and I got it wrong. Shouldn't have bet too much on that one. Who did Mr. Rhymer attack? Oh, good old Caulfield. God, there is such rich text in this thing. Oh my God. But I have that to throw in too. Jesus. Okay, I should do this like right now. In fact, I will. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna take a little interlude here. And... we're gonna select new texts to add to the oracle. The funnest thing that anyone can do. It's like adding treasures under your Christmas tree. It's just like the greatest thing ever. Okay, this is in texts all. Okay. Hold on a second. Okay, here we are. No, it's not there. Where'd it go? It's not streaming my Finder window correctly. No. Properties. Huh. La, da, 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 da. La, da, da, da. La, da. La, da, dee, da, da, dee, na, 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 dee. Oh, yes. Here we go. Wow. I can't believe I got by without having these in here. Okay, I'm not going to mess with the other ones. GR. Okay, we've got Ibsen, Freud. Joyce, Marshall. Oh my God. Look at these. Companion to the Cantos. Secure base, skeleton key to Finnegan's Wake. A strategy for Israel? Okay, I'm going to leave that out. Can't get by without the Abhidharma Kosha Bhasyam, 4 volumes. Adolf Hitler. Great American fraud. Look at all these Adornos. Okay, I'm just gonna do A and then that'd actually be interesting. Alice in Wonderland. Definitely. Oh, I don't want to mix all these up though. What should I do? I should, in another window, hopefully this won't remove my selections. It didn't. Okay. In another window, I am going to create a copy of come on. Are you freaking serious, dude? Okay. Oh no. No, I lost my selections. Oh my god, there's so many amazing works in here. Now the real game is on, everybody. Where, oh where can I find anyone who can play against me? Oh, did it not save again? Oh, was I not getting the right control? Oh my god, you piece of crap. Magic touchpad. Mother. God. Oh my god. Guess if I hold it down, it shouldn't be a problem. Because then I can just... What? What the... What? Oh, yeah. There are so many. What if I just throw that whole thing in there? I'm kind of afraid to throw the whole thing in there. Yeah, I don't want the whole thing in there. You are so right, Tomas. I know. You just watched me fumble around with those stupid things. I know, I actually I work with both systems, but yeah, my home machine is a Mac, and God, is it delicate and painful in certain ways. But overall, it's It's beautiful. What was the last one I did? I have no idea. I do. In fact, I was just wondering where that is. Okay, I got to... Did I move them? I think I actually moved them. Yeah, please. Radio-garden? Wow. This is pretty cool. Let me throw open a window on here. What's this one out here?
Live streaming of this station is brought to you by One Communications. One gives you more.
This is very cool, dude. Pretty homogeneous in that all so English. Finally, some Russian. Wow, man, that's super cool. That's like really cool. What have we become as a species? Yeah, cool, man. I'll definitely check it out. How did you come upon this initially? Abhidharma Kosha was definitely the last one I did. I guess it moved them. Oh well. Speeches, Adorno. Yeah, I appreciate that. That is a very cool thing to share. I don't think you got the full glimpse of what goes on here. Oh, God, this stupid Mac dragging and is so impossible. It's so funny. It's just like prohibitively impossible. Yeah, Russia's you know, our brother country. Do you know this backstory behind Thanksgiving and its founding in the United States was declared initially by Abraham Lincoln around the time of the Civil War to thank the Russians for planting some gunboats off of the East Coast to block the British from joining the South in the Civil War. Russians are our friends, man. Of course, Russia does have some political characteristics that I wouldn't want to live as part of, but some are good too. Yeah. Oh, God, I almost lost it again. Dee 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 dee. Do 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 do. Yeah. All right, well, let me fire up the machine here while you're here, since this is my primary purpose here, and I want to stay on track. Okay. So I added some new ones. I hope they show up in here, but the invalidity or unenforceability of any provision of this agreement. No, that's for he was blank to lie among 12 catamites and an equal number of girls. What is that? Reputed? Accustomed. What is this from? Who had such a reputation? Wow. Wow. This is wow. This is what I get from one of my new texts here. No. I know that sounds like it, right? This is actually some, I think this is like an early Roman like biography of the Caesars or something. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not sure I remember. But we're going to find out. Yeah. So this is the Epitome de Caesaribus, a booklet about the style of life and the manners of the Caesars. And so now I'm going to answer the question I asked, which was, who had such a reputation? And I'll read this paragraph, so we'll try and answer it. For all that, so great a man did not lack vices. For he was somewhat impatient, a bit irascible, secretly envious, openly fatuous. Furthermore, moreover, he was most desirous of holding dominion, and more than it is possible to imagine, an avid player at dice. And though he was much at table or drink, to a certain degree, in fact, abstaining from sleep, he nevertheless used to gratify his lust to the extent of the dishonor of his public reputation. For he was accustomed to lie among 12 catamites and an equal number of girls. Also, possessed by the love of the wife of another, when his wife Scribonia had been set aside, he joined Livia to himself as if with her husband's consent. Of this Livia there were already 2 sons, Tiberius and Drusus. And while he was a servant of luxury, he was nevertheless a most severe castigator of the same vice, in the manner of men who are relentless in correcting the vices in which they themselves avidly indulge. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I'll jump up to the preface. He was damned to exile the poet Ovid. Aha, okay. So there's a hint here. But so who is this about? This is about Octavian, I believe. I'm going to say it's Octavian. Of the Imperatores, yeah. I mean, whatever. It's basically the Roman rulers. So that was interesting. Cool. Okay, so I'm going to say Octavian liked to sleep with all kinds. I don't think so. No, I haven't. I want to see it. Looking it up right now. This? Ah, this. I might watch that tonight. Oh, man. That looks spectacular. You, Tomas, are a treasure trove. Severe poverty and an hereditary farm, with a dwelling suited to it, formed this hero useful in war, as it did also Curious with his rough locks and blank. Now here's a good challenge. His rough locks and beard. Oh, wow. That's great. Yeah, I love historical. Have you ever seen the Borgias? I think they might take more license with that, but it is loosely based on a historical circumstance. Kind of funny. I mean, I like the show though. About Cesare Borgia and his crew. Beard, I say. Beard. Oh, and Camillus. Severe poverty formed this hero useful in war. How did his impoverished upbringing help him fight? Okay, this comes from Horace. So I'm going to open up Horace here. Yeah. Cool, man. Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to watch that. Yeah, I've been meaning to fire up Gibbon in here. Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire. What did I come across recently? I was reading Mimesis by Eric Auerbach, and he was quoting these these utterly scandalous descriptions of imperators in Rome. It's quite amazing. So I'm intrigued about the series. Ode 12 to Augustus. What man, what hero, O Clio, do you undertake to celebrate on the harp or the shrill pipe? What god? Whose name shall the sportive echo resound, either in the shady borders of Helicon, or on top of Pindus, or on cold Haemus? Whence the woods followed promiscuously the tuneful Orpheus, who by his maternal art retarded the rapid courses of rivers and the fleet winds, and was so sweetly persuasive that he drew along the listening oaks with his harmonious strings. But what can I sing prior to the usual praises of the sire, who governs the affairs of men and gods, who governs the sea, the earth, and the whole world, with the vicissitudes of seasons? Whence nothing is produced greater than him, nothing springs either like him, or even in a second degree to him. Nevertheless, Pallas has acquired these honors, which are next after him. Seems that Horace actually believed in Zeus and Athena. Neither will I pass thee by in silence, O Bacchus, bold in combat, nor thee, O Virgin, who art an enemy to the savage beasts, nor thee, O Phoebus, formidable for thy unerring dart. I will sing also of Hercules and the sons of Leda, the one illustrious for his achievements on horseback, and the other on foot, whose clear shining constellation, as soon as it is shown forth to the sailors, the troubled surge falls down from the rocks, the winds cease, the clouds vanish, and the threatening waves subside in the sea, because it was their will. And did they actually believe that those powers were held by these gods? Oh, interesting. It's amazing how, I guess how insulated I can become from popular culture. I love to reap the benefits of what I've missed out on, but in the long run, I think it's best to focus on my minority expertise. After these I am in doubt whom I shall first commemorate, whether Romulus, or the peaceful reign of Numa, or the splendid ensigns of Tarquinius, or the glorious death of Cato. I will celebrate out of gratitude with the choicest verses Regulus, and the Scauri and Paulus, prodigal of his mighty soul, when Carthage conquered, and Fabricius. Yeah. Well, I mean, a big inspiration for this project, which is all about cracking open forgotten texts, it's basically to probe that question. Like this series you're talking about, does our current media and all the investment that can go into making that, is there something lost in re-portraying ancient history in these modern forms that you cannot but find in the textual documents? That somehow they're more direct from the source than having to be mediated through HBO's production facility and thereby all the medium. I know that there was talk of trying to pull out the sound of people who were talking while they were making pottery, and that their voice would have left an etching in the pottery. I don't know if that was actually pursued seriously. But no, I haven't looked up the first recording. That would be interesting. I remember hearing Edison. I remember a recording of Edison talking. Yeah. We just growl at one another. Oh, there's the line. Severe poverty and a hereditary farm with a dwelling suited to it formed this hero useful in war, as it did also curious, with his rough locks and Camillus. The fame of Marcellus increases as a tree does in the insensible progress of time. But the Julian constellation shines amid them all as the moon among the smaller stars. O thou son of Saturn, author and preserver of the human race, the protection of Caesar is committed to thy charge by the fates. Thou shalt reign supreme with Caesar for thy second. Cool. Watching it. That doesn't sound so different. Other than the terrible recording. Whether he shall subdue with a just victory the Parthians making inroads upon Italy, or shall render subject the Syries and Indians on the eastern coasts, he shall rule the wide world with equity in subordination to thee. Thou shalt shake Olympus with thy tremendous car. Thou shalt hurl thy hostile thunderbolts against the polluted groves. I don't know. I mean, check this out. I give you two textual examples. Here's Beowulf in its original, which I never learned to pronounce. Vet wie gar dinein Geld gedum, Theod Singer prum gefrunnen, Husser Eldings ellen fremden of skilled skiffin skidina pretum. Monogam mogdom mitte settle of te. Exit earl shouldn rest vir Wistschrift funden. He face frogebid vix under Volknen. Viramindem da. Ut bit eglich para sidtendra offerhunden rod. Hinrin skuld. Gummengilden. Thist with good sinnin. Okay, so that was Beowulf, but check out Chaucer. Chaucer was from the 1300s, and I mean, it's, you know, it's not like a foreign language, even though it is commonly translated. Oh, really? Oh man, I would love to hear a translation. Same with Chaucer. Like each as I'll give you my poor rendition here. But you know, I'll check that out in a second. Brittany. A knight was there, and that a worthy man, that from the time that he first began to ride and out, he loved chivalry, truth and honour, freedom and courtesy. Full worthy was he in his lord's war, and thereto had he ridden, no man far as well in Christendom as in heatheness, and ever honoured for his worthiness, at Alessandra he was when it was won. Full often time he had that board begun above all nations in Prusse. In Leto had he raised, and in Rus, no Christian man so oft of his degree. In Grenade at the siege eke had he be of Algeciras, and ridden in Belmarie. At Lays was he, and at Satalie, when they won, in the great sea, at many a noble army had he be. This is actually reconstructed somewhat. There's a lot more vowel jamming in the original Shakespeare. What is that, Brittany? Can you link to something so I don't need to hunt down what I don't know what I'm trying to find? Yeah. All right. Yeah, no. Well, really, I mean, here, let me share. I'm going to share another. Yeah. I know. So like you're saying like, "Oh man, people in 1860 sounded so strange." I mean, that was 500 years ago. I think you could talk to Chaucer or someone from them. You know, English has degraded much quicker than Italian. Like Dante's Italian is much closer to modern Italian, I understand, than Chaucer is to modern English. But Chaucer is so beautiful. This is Troilus and Crusade. Okay. I am going to sing this. This is Troilus singing to the god of love. Let me throw on. I'll get to that in one sec. Brittany, thank you for sharing that. If no love is, O God, what feel I so? And if love is, what thing, and which is he? If love be good, from whence cometh my woe? If it be wicked, a wonder thinketh me, when every torment and adversity that cometh of him may to my savoury think, for I thirst I the more that I it drink. And if that at mine own lust I bren, fro whence cometh my wailing and my plaint? If harms agree me, whereto plain I then? I know not, ne why unwary that I faint. O quick death, O sweet harms so quaint, how may of thee in such quantity, but if that I consent that it be? And if that I consent, I wrongfully complain awhise, thus tossed to and fro, all steerless within a boat am I amid the sea, betwixen winds two, that in contrary stonden evermore. Alas, what is this wonder malady? For heat of cold, for cold of heat, I die. Anyway, okay. Let me get that. Wow, that is some really amazing lyrics there. Oh, thanks a lot, man. Yeah, unfortunately, one of my biggest weaknesses is I never bothered to basically get disciplined enough to pick and choose music that works. Well, I think I'm gonna have to wait for your recording of that, Brittany, but I do very much thank you for bringing it. All right, back to the real work. Enough of these distractions. Oops, could have answered that. Ah, blank, do not speak. Ah, please, I say. Yeah, this is a game I made. I'll file that away in the archives. Thank you. What do you think goes in the blank? Please. Oh, it's beloved. Okay. So he says, ah, beloved, do not speak. And then the second part of this exercise, now we ask a question about the text, which we don't know where we are yet. So I ask, why don't you want her to speak? And so this is from a poet named H.D. So now I'm going to bring up the text of H.D. And oh no, where'd it go? I'm really glad to see you so eager, But, you know, we'll just have to let it gather some better resonance in the archives for now. Okay, so the question I asked about this was, why don't you want her to speak? Now I have to find this poem. Prisoners. It is strange that I should want this sight of your face. We've had so much. At any moment now I may pass, stand near the gate. Do not speak. Only reach if you can, your face half fronting the passage toward the light. Fate, God sends this as a mark, a last token that we are not forgot, lost in this turmoil, about to be crushed out, burned or stamped out at best, with sudden death. The spearsman who brings this will ask you for the gold clasp you wear under your coat. I gave all I had left. Press close to the portal. My gate will soon clang, and your fellow wretches will crowd to the entrance. Be first at the gate. Ah, beloved, do not speak. This was the line we got earlier. This part here. Ah, beloved, do not speak. I write this in great haste. Do not speak. You may yet be released. I am glad enough to depart, though I have never tasted life as in these last weeks. It is a strange life, patterned in fire and letters on the prison pavement. If I glance up, it is written on the walls, it is cut on the floor, it is patterned across the slope of the roof. I am weak, weak. Last night, if the guard had left the gate unlocked, I could not have ventured to escape, but one thought serves me now with strength. As I pass down the corridor, past desperate faces at each cell, your eyes and my eyes may meet. You will be dark, unkempt, but I pray for one glimpse of your face. Why do I want this? I who have seen you at the banquet, each flower of your hyacinth circlet white against your hair. Why do I want this, when even last night you startled me from sleep? You stood against the dark rock, you grasped an elder staff. So many nights you have distracted me from terror. Once you lifted a spear flower. I remember how you stooped to gather it, and it flamed, the leaf and shoot, and the threads yellow, yellow, sheer till they burnt to red-purple in the cup. As I pass your cell door, do not speak. I was first on the list. They may forget you tried to shield me as the horseman passed. Okay, so this is the initial line we had. What was the blank? Oh yeah, the blank was this beloved, which we got wrong. And then the question I asked was, why don't you want her to speak? From that. So how do we answer this? There seems to be this visit to this prison. I'll just say that he doesn't want her to speak because he thrills to hold her in his arms when he is free. And then we're done. And then we go on to the next one. And that is the game. Any questions? Oh, who are blank that kiss and pass? I say remaining. Whoops. Remaining. Anyone else have any guesses? Who are these that kiss and pass? Where do they go after they kiss? Where are these going? I don't know if these are part of a longer poem. Guess I could find out, but the question I'm trying to answer is along the fields as we came by a year ago, my love and I, the aspen over stile and stone was talking to itself alone. Oh, who are these that kiss and pass? A country lover and his lass, two lovers looking to wed, and time shall put them both to bed, but she shall lie with earth above, and he beside another love. So the aspen was talking to itself alone. So the tree is talking to the lovers as they pass by. Oh, who are these that kiss and pass? A country lover and his lass, two lovers looking to be wed, and time shall put them both to bed, but she shall lie with earth above, and he beside another love. Well, so it appears that the aspen is informing the lovers that she is due for an early death and he will live and love again. Li Po, styled Taipo, was descended in the 9th generation from the blank Xing Xiang. Is it my lucky day? Oh, mediocrity. Only a few of these seem from internal evidence to suggest his turpitude, I say. Authorship. How do they show he wrote it? I ask. Okay, so that's a book about Lucian. Only a few. Oh. Lucian, best known for the development, if not the creation, of the satiric dialogue, and next to that for his skill as a storyteller, makes large use of other forms to suit varying content. There are a number of short epidictic pieces used, perhaps as prefaces or curtain raisers, to longer readings or lectures. There are many writings of a hortatory or didactic, argumentative or polemical, and occasionally of a biographical character. Some pieces are constructively or even actually in the form of letters. He is not always severely careful about preserving a consistent form, but injects, for example, into some of his best dialogues, argumentative or narrative digressions to reinforce his theme. These insertions, which date back, as in Plato, the current of the dialogue, dam back, no, it was dam. They dam back, as in Plato, the current of the dialogue, occasionally contains some of his choicest satire. There are also two tragicomic poems which find tentative recognition as Lucianic compositions, to be accepted perhaps by referring them to his closing and less virile years. I think this is what we were needing to identify with our quote. Finally, there are in the Greek anthology 42 epigrams attributed to Lucian. Only a few of these seem from internal evidence to suggest his authorship. That was our line that we got. And the question that I asked was, how do they show that he wrote it? That's a very arcane question that would be really hard to dig down. We'd have to search in the annals of classical journals. I'll give it a shot, though. Let's see if we can figure this out. That would really be a coup. So we're basically looking for Lucian epigrams in Greek anthology. First of all, yeah, I guess that would be the place to look. So let's see if we can find what the epigrams are. Okay, here they are. We've actually found them already. Oh yeah, and then this article by Baldwin, I imagine will solve the riddle for us. Look at this beautiful online. Oh, God. Thanks, paywall. That's terrible. What a tease. As if it took so much work to just scan the damn thing. Okay, well, I'll find it on there, but I'm really curious about this article and if I can track this article down. The epigrams of Lucian. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, it says read online for free. No. Not gonna be free. Yeah, I am. I'll show you the programming part of it in a second, while I'm tracking. Yes, I found the article. You ever heard of Sci-Hub? Sci-Hub is amazing. Baldwin, 1975. Epigrams of Lucian. I'm gonna put that in here. Okay. Yeah, so first of all, Bear Boy, my friend, JD, does that mean you have a law degree? Okay. So this is what the program does right now. Oh, I could have shown you that. Let me show you that actually. Yeah, so it's a Python program, and it pulls up random sentences from a directory where I have a whole bunch of literature, philosophy, and other texts. So it pulls a random sentence from a random work and then takes a random word out of the sentence. And so the first part of the game is that we guess what the blank says. 'Tis liberty to serve one lord, but he who many serves, serves base blank. So on that one, I'll guess base masters. Masters, will be my guess. Do you have a guess of what this might be? Do you program? Should have known it rhymed. Oh, cool. What language? 'Tis liberty to serve one lord, but he who many serves, serves base servility. So now, okay, now this is where it departs from programming and enters the spirit. So we form a question about the context from which the quote came, which we don't yet know where it came from. This one's a little bit hard. I'm gonna say, like, how else do we ensure our freedom? Oh wow, yeah, you're a real programmer, man. That's cool. Okay, so this is a Robert Herrick work. So now what I do in the background, and all this I would like to be essentially integrated into a nice platform. But what I'm doing in the back, I'm pulling up the the text where it came from in Sublime Text. I'm just editing this while I'm looking at it so that it doesn't pick up this garbage the next time it runs through the machine. I'm gonna get rid of all the footnotes too. Not getting rid of that though. Okay. Okay, so now it... Oh, well that actually was the entire poem, evidently. Or that saying. So I'm not sure that my answer has much to it other than read the rest of the poems. But what I think I'll do here, I've actually never encountered that one sentence situation. I'm gonna look for liberty elsewhere in Herrick's poems and use this for inspiration. So, men must have bounds how far to walk, for we are made far worse by lawless liberty. And then I'll use that as the answer. So, how else do we ensure our freedom other than serving but one Lord? We guard against license. Oh. Do you have any of your projects on GitHub? This project isn't currently on GitHub, but last night I actually sent a replica of the project to someone I met on here, and he said he was going to make a GitHub repo about it. Only very limitedly. Like very limitedly. I think I like spent a day where I looked at 2 GUI libraries for Python. I kind of half got one working, but yeah, that's about as far as it's gotten. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of things that could be done with it. I want it on a website, so it basically runs off a website, and then you could run it off a mobile. And I basically want it as a Twitch bot too. Do you know how Twitch bots are programmed? What language are those made in? Or is it even a language? Sleep thou in the bosom of the tender comrade, while the living water whispers in the well run, and the blank glimmer in the moonlight. What would glimmer in the moonlight? Trees? Probably not. Waves? I'm gonna say waves. Oh, oleanders. That was my second guess. What does an oleander tree look like? Bear boy. That's cool. Oh, right on. What do you mean by random generator? This is the oleander. This is what was shimmering in the moonlight. That would be very pretty, shimmering in moonlight. Ah, yes. Oleander growing wild in a Libyan wadi. Okay. So, my question is, how do you know how better I should sleep? That's awesome. Yeah. I love randomness, as you can tell. Ugh. It's super fun to interact with never before seen environments. Who is it? Oh god, this is Sappho. Sappho is so beautiful. In fact, I think it's getting late enough in the night that I will find it hard to resist singing this Sappho. Okay. Maybe. I don't know. Depends. In this case, all it took was a random number generator selecting a random list placement, basically. Oh yeah, Sappho. These things aren't opening. Sleep thou in the bosom of the tender comrade, while the living water whispers in the well run, and the oleanders glimmer in the moonlight. Soon, ah, soon the shy birds will be at their fluting, and the morning planet rise above the garden. For there is a measure to set to all things mortal. Yeah, that sounds more complicated. I'm just going to continue riffing on Sappho. Hesperus, bringing together all that the morning star scattered, sheep to be folded in twilight, children for mothers to fondle. Me too will bring to the dearest, tenderest breast in all Lesbos. In the gray olive grove, a small brown bird had built her nest and waited for the spring. But who could tell the happy thought that came to lodge beneath my scarlet tunic's fold? All day long now is the green earth renewed with the bright sea wind and the yellow blossoms. From the cool shade I hear the silver plash of the blown fountain at the garden's end. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da la da da. All right. What am I gonna do? I'll start it later. I think it might be reaching that time of evening for myself. I know, right? Yeah, well, I'm doing it not because I must, but because I would like to. Which I don't even remember the last time I did that, so it must have been a very productive evening. So, yeah, glad you stopped by. You know, keep tabs if you want to see how this thing develops into some like online Twitch collaboration, which I hope it does, but we'll see. Other than that, I wish you a fine evening.